Всем привет, дамы и господа, с вами Александр. Топ-30 продуктов, которые были забанены после смерти людей. Watch Mojo. Укбанк React, скитл с мармеладками. Погнали.
It breaks my heart knowing that Carlos is gone. What about it breaks my heart knowing that Carlos is gone. What about someone else's Carlos, you know? Someone else's brother.
Welcome to Watch Mojo.
Right.
And today we're counting down our picks for the items that were taken off the...
It breaks my heart knowing that Carlos is gone. What about someone else's Carlos?
Блядь, чё за рофлс?
Someone else's brother.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the items that were taken off the market after someone lost their life.
Сука. Есть.
Heart knowing that Carlos is gone.
Всем, кто не слышал, кто видел святой
You
память.
know, someone else's brother.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the items that were taken off the market after someone lost their life.
So the food poisoning of people, is that just the cost of doing business for your company?
We won't be considering prescription drugs or other medical products. Number 30, magnetics.
Melissa Palmer says her 2-year-old son Benjamin swallowed 2 magnets that slipped out of
Его примагнитило к холодильнику, и он больше не смог оторваться.
their plastic casing, and he needed emergency surgery for internal injuries.
This building
Emergency!
set featured
Emergency!
powerful magnets that enabled kids to construct anything they could imagine. The box came with a warning that it contained small parts that posed a choking hazard to young children. However, that wasn't the only danger associated with magnetics. The cheaply made plastic pieces had tiny magnets inside them. They broke
А когда их глотали, был песос, блядь.
apart easily, and toddlers could swallow them without choking. If a kid swallowed more than one magnet, they could attract each other inside the body and cause serious internal damage. That's what happened to a 2-year-old boy who died
что, на
after
крест делала?
swallowing some magnetics pieces in 2005. Several other kids had to have emergency surgery, but
Жалко, что я
fortunately
ему
survived.
помог.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a recall in 2006.
Kids just love this toy,
Вроде
but
там
beware.
один
The
вы рассказали.
magnetics building sets are so
Я из ВГшника,
popular, they
я в
attract
прошлом
your
году стал играть
flesh and bone.
раненый,
Number
3 в
29,
ряд.
Better Homes and Gardens
смотреть видео
Aromatherapy
параллельно.
Room Spray.
An aromatherapy spray may contain deadly bacteria. That's the reason Walmart is recalling nearly 4,000
Это, короче, блядь, прозрачная перцовка.
bottles of Better Homes and Gardens branded essential oil infused spray with gemstones.
Imagine buying an air freshener to
Так.
deodorize your house
Так.
and later finding out that every time you've used it, you've been spraying deadly tropical bacteria into the air. That's what happened to people who bought Better Homes and Gardens essential oil infused aromatherapy room spray with gemstones in 2021. It was contaminated with Burkholderia pseudomallii, a bacterium so dangerous that the CDC warns it could be used as a bioweapon. If you're infected with it, there's about a 10% chance you'll die if you're
Но 90
diagnosed and
есть.
treated quickly. Even if you survive, chance
Если,
you'll die if
если.
you're diagnosed and treated quickly. Even if you survive, you're likely to have long-term side effects.
Ужас.
2 people died after using the Better Homes and Gardens room spray, and
Вот
hundreds
тебе, блядь,
more
и
had to
Better.
decontaminate their homes or risk
Нихуя
suffering
это
the
не
same
беттер.
fate.
Обычные
Number
освежители.
28, Pillow Fort weighted blankets.
A consumer alert, Target recalling more than 200,000 Pillow Fort weighted blankets.
If you name your blanket
Ох уж эти наволочки, блядь.
Pillow Fort and market it in colors like unicorn pink and space navy blue, you have to
Прикольное
assume
название.
kids will play with it. Given that, the design needs to be safe for them to use unsupervised.
Они
That was
закручивались?
not the case for this weighted blanket sold at Target. The removable waterproof cover was easy for kids to open, but impossible to breathe through. In 2022, 2 girls, ages 4 and 6, on a North Carolina military base, unzipped the cover
Нихуя
and
себе.
got trapped inside and asphyxiated. Target
Военная
recalled
база,
the blankets in
блядь.
December of that year.
The heads up for parents, Target
Цель таргета. Забанить эту хуету, блядь.
recalling weighted children's blankets after a report of 2 girls killed while using them at Camp
А,
Lejeune.
лагерь.
Number 27, Rely tampons.
I just found out about something great. It's Rely, a new tampon from Procter & Gamble.
Проктор, провал Гэмбл, блядь.
It's really different
Я
and
не
better.
придумал,
This
кого был.
product did its job a little too well. Although Procter & Gamble's Rely
Он впитывал все.
wasn't the only brand of super absorbent tampon on the market in the 1970s, it did become the most notorious.
Он не
lye used
просто
a
впитывающий, а
unique
супер
combination of
впитывающий, блядь.
materials to soak up fluid, and it was incredibly effective. It would also swell up to a
Так.
huge size, so much so that it was
Бабах,
known to
блядь.
cause lacerations when it was
Взрывался
removed.
нахуй.
This massively increased the risk of toxic shock syndrome, a rare but serious condition that can be fatal. In fact, studies show that women who use Rely contracted TSS more often than users of any other brand. At least one woman died, and Rely was pulled from the market in 1980.
А еще я не жил в то время, когда существовали эти тампоны.
Toxic shock syndrome. That would explain the rash.
But there's no liver or renal dysfunction.
Have you considered erythema multiforme?
No one asked you.
Number 26, Simplicity Cribs.
The plastic hardware can break or deform, causing the drop side to detach. When the drop side
Хуёвая
detaches, it
кроватка,
creates a
короче.
space between the drop side and the crib mattress. Infants and toddlers roll into this space and become entrapped, which can
Ужас.
lead to suffocation.
The shoddy design
Какого
of these
ебаного, что
cribs
души.
led to the deaths of 11 infants and numerous other terrifying close calls. Simplicity made so-called drop-side cribs, meaning one side could be lowered to make lifting the baby in and out easier. However, the plastic parts that
Вау.
held the movable side together
Другие
had a
можно было
tendency
купить.
to break. This created
Ну,
a gap
бля,
between the
поверили
crib
им.
wall and the mattress. Babies could fall into that gap and get strangled or suffocate with their faces pressed to the mattress. The company first tried to fix the problem by sending out repair kits, but after multiple tragedies, it was forced to recall around 1 million cribs. Simplicity eventually went out of business.
If you have a drop-side crib, call the manufacturer.
Cribs. Simplicity eventually went out of business.
If you have a drop-side crib,
Simplicity. Нихуя, блядь, не просто с вашей продукцией.
call the manufacturer and ask for an
Даже, сука,
immobilizer.
начинающим
Many
жить.
companies make them to secure the drop-side railing.
Number 25. Ace Bayou beanbag chairs.
А тут-то чё, блядь?
was recalling about 2.2 million
Все, блядь, хавали вот это, нахуй?
of
Что?
these beanbag chairs due to suffocation and choking hazards following
Блядь, и
the
типа
deaths
дети туда прыгали и их затягивало в
of two
пучину.
children.
Why would a company put a zipper in a beanbag chair and then slap a warning label that says never to open it? Do they think kids read warning labels? Why not just get rid of the zipper? Ace Bayou learned that the hard way in the 2010s after a 13-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl died in separate incidents. The kids had opened the bags and climbed inside and suffocated after inhaling the
Зря.
foam beads they were stuffed with. Parents should be able to buy something as simple as a beanbag chair without worrying that a stupid design flaw will endanger their child's life.
This is a huge wake-up call for all parents and children. More than 2 million beanbag chairs are being pulled from store shelves after 2 children suffocated after crawling into their beanbag chairs.
Number 24. Goal setter wall-mounted basketball goals.
Дети тоже прыгали туда.
Indiana, a 14-year-old boy died after a basketball backboard fell on him.
In 2018, a 14-year-old Indiana boy was playing basketball when the hoop detached from the wall and fell,
Ужас.
crushing him. The goal
Сколько было?
boy was playing
14?
basketball when the
Ебать,
hoop detached from the
ебать,
wall
огромное
and fell,
было.
crushing him. The goal weighed well over 200 pounds, and the boy was killed almost instantly.
90 килограмм в 14 лет, нихуя себе. Плохо. Мне 18, у меня сейчас 75.
Yet it took another 4 years before Goal Setter recalled the defective product. In the meantime, another person broke their leg when the goal fell on them, and yet another suffered major facial injuries. Anyone who's mounted a heavy object on a wall or has basic understanding of physics knows that it's crucial for the hardware to be sturdy and reliable. It's hard to believe the company wasn't aware of this. You can still buy Goal Setter hoops, and presumably they now come with better mounting equipment. Number 23, Xylon body armor.
Now you're probably wondering how something this light and flexible can actually stop bullets. Well, there's only one way to find out.
It's bad enough when faulty products injure or kill people due to a company's negligence. It's far worse when the company knows its product is dangerous and covers it up. Second Chance Body Armor made bulletproof vests out of Xylon, which is stronger than Kevlar. The problem is
Кевлар, о, блядь. Арут такие продавал африканскому лидеру
that
какому-то,
Xylon
блядь.
degrades quickly when it's exposed to light, heat, and humidity, which is pretty likely when it's being worn all day by police officers. In 2003, California officer Tony Zappatella was shot and killed while wearing Xylon armor. A whistleblower revealed that the company Zappatella was shot and killed while wearing Xylon armor. A whistleblower revealed that the company had known for years that Xylon degrades fast and had hidden the information. Lawsuits started piling up, and second chance body armor was soon a thing of the past.
I really should get some kind of body armor, like I told you.
Yeah, I'm thinking you might be right.
Number 22, WeGo Kite Tubes. Similar to Rely tampons, this product did exactly what it was designed to do. Kite tubes are inflatable rafts that you can hook up to the back of a boat. If you get going fast enough and lean back at the right angle, they launch themselves into the
Я где-то видел такое.
air. WeGo Kite Tubes were known to sail 30
Что они взлетают, вот эти лодки.
or 40 feet high, dipping and diving in unpredictable ways. This often caused riders to go flying off them. If they hit the water at a high speed, they could be seriously hurt. After a litany of injuries, including punctured lungs, a broken neck, and 2 deaths, the maker sports including punctured lungs, a broken neck, and 2 deaths. The maker sports stuff pulled them off the market and eventually went out of business. Number 21, home elevators.
In-home elevators with hazardous gaps can seriously injure or kill small children.
In recent years, tens of thousands of these items from multiple different brands have been taken off the market due to the dangers they pose to children. The most common hazard is a gap between the exterior door and the elevator itself. Kids can sneak in there and get crushed when the elevator moves. You might think that families who have these elevators should just take simple precautions like locking the outside door. But some of the most tragic incidents have happened in vacation rental houses, where the family wasn't familiar with the elevator and didn't know it was dangerous. If you ever stay in a house with an elevator, make sure that small kids can't get access.
We're trying to get him out, and so we pushed the button, so the door would open, and at that point, it had homed to the second floor in all the chaos of him being in there, and it came down.
Number 20, Burger King Pokeballs.
Да, я знаю про это.
In the late 90s, Burger King looks to get in on the Pokemon craze. To promote the first movie, the fast food giant gave away dozens of Pokemon toys inside small plastic Pokeballs. Unfortunately, these proved a choking hazard for young children.
Once you put them up to your mouth and you suck on them, like it kind of like sticks to your mouth, and then you can't get any air, and then you pass away.
On December 11th, 1999, a 13-month-old baby suffocated to death on one of the Pokeballs, prompting officials to demand a recall. Burger King refused, stating their desire for an autopsy report proving that the Pokeball had caused her death. A few weeks later, an 18-month-old nearly suffocated on another Pokeball, but was saved by her father. It was only then that Burger King agreed to recall the item, and they were fiercely criticized for their slow response. Number 19, mini hammocks. In the mid-90s, various companies were ordered to recall their mini net hammocks as they came without spreader bars. Without the spreader bars, the hammocks were not held open and had a tendency to twist around people who were entering or exiting the hammock.
Это как вот это скручивание напоминает мне о Томе и Джерри. Что-то подобное там было, блядь.
Someone who works there. No, this is gonna work. And oh wow, it's spasming. No.
This was especially problematic for young children who were prone to strangulation owing to their small and easily caught throats. The Consumer Product Safety Commission received reports of 12 deaths between 1984 and 1995, prompting them to officially recall and ban the sale of Hang 10 and Twin Oaks mini hammocks in 1996. Number 18, Peloton Tread Plus. The COVID pandemic has greatly increased the popularity of Peloton treadmills as people look to exercise in the safety of their homes.
Peloton, come on, let's get this workout started.
Unfortunately, heavy and speedy exercise equipment comes with an inherent danger factor. In March 2021,
помню, как в реабилитационном центре я катался, вот, короче, было пространство, где вот тренажер, вот стенка, и я попал туда, бля. Да.
That a young child had tragically passed away in an accident involving their Tread Plus treadmill.
Children should not be sucked under.
У меня все было нормально, но немножко застряло.
The following month, the CPSC asked consumers to stop using the product, citing the aforementioned death and dozens of other injuries involving both pets and humans.
We did make a mistake by not engaging with the Consumer Product Safety Commission in a more productive dialogue earlier in the process.
In May, 2 months after the child's death, Peloton finally succumbs to industry pressure and recalled all of their Tread and Tread Plus products, while apologizing for the delay in action. Number 17, Reebok heart-shaped charm bracelets. Between 2004 and 2006, Reebok gave away heart-shaped charm bracelets at nationwide shoe retailers. The bracelets were a free gift that could be obtained by buying certain brands of children's shoes. Measuring about 8 inches long, the charm bracelets buying certain brands of children's shoes. Measuring about 8 inches long, the charm bracelets were silver in color and the name Reebok was engraved on the heart. Unfortunately, these bracelets were found to contain dangerous levels of lead, and a 4-year-old child from Minnesota tragically passed away from lead poisoning after swallowing a piece of the bracelet. A voluntary recall was issued in March of 2006, banning the gifting and reselling of Reebok charm bracelets. Number 16, Audi TT Type 8N. While still in production today, the Audi TT, specifically the Type 8N, received some significant press coverage in the late 90s and early 2000s owing to numerous fatalities associated with the car. The 2000 Audi TT suffered from stabilizer issues, resulting in a loss of control at high speeds. Fatal accidents typically occurred when drivers were recklessly speeding and either making sharp turns or abrupt lane changes. The car would veer out of control and either roll over or smash into the nearest obstacle, killing the occupants.
Oh dear no, sliding all over the shop. Just listen to the tire squeal.
Audi recalled the vehicle and either making sharp
Сейчас.
turns or fatal lost the car.
Вспомнил.
In the late 90s and early 2000s owing to numerous fatalities associated with the car. The 2000 Audi TT suffered from stabilizer issues, resulting in a loss of control at high speeds. Fatal accidents typically occurred when drivers were recklessly speeding and either making sharp turns or abrupt lane changes. The car would veer out of control and either roll over or smash into the nearest obstacle, killing the occupants.
Подождите-ка.
And either
Он сам, блядь!
Making sharp turns or abrupt lane changes. The car would veer out of control and either roll over or smash into the nearest obstacle, killing the occupants.
Oh dear no, sliding all over the shop. Just listen to the tire squeal.
Audi recalled the vehicles and replaced various parts, including the front and rear stabilizers, control arms, and shock absorbers. Number 15, Kratom. An evergreen tree from Southeast Asia, Kratom is used for a wide variety of purposes.
And I measure it out, 3.95 on the dot. Some OJ, and then I drink it all down.
It treats chronic pain and withdrawal symptoms, increases alertness and energy like caffeine, and is used in a similar manner to alcohol to improve sociability.
You feel energized, you feel relaxed, you feel the pain kind of melt away.
Unfortunately, it also comes with a slew of adverse effects, including death. Hundreds of people have reportedly died from kratom overdose, including 152 people in the United States between 2016 and 2017.
I'm drawn to the arguments that if there's absolutely no formal studies out there and we're just having people wing it, that scares me.
Бля, мне нравится, когда этот врач пиздит, не то, что в наших передачах.
While popular for its purported health benefits, kratom is banned in a number of countries, including Ireland and the UK, as well as several U.S. states. A number of countries, including Ireland and the UK, as well as several U.S. states.
Вообще не хуй сюда, блядь. That people would use it like an opiate, overuse it like an opiate, become dependent on it like they do with an opiate, and then have to go through withdrawal.
Number 14, Jalisco Mexican products. Los Angeles was rocked by a horrible outbreak of listeriosis throughout 1985. A bacterial infection, listeriosis targets pregnant women and newborns with particular alacrity. Unfortunately, the 1985 outbreak resulted in the deaths of 10 newborns and 18 adults, while simultaneously causing 20 miscarriages. The tragic cases were eventually linked to Jalisco Mexican Products, a company that manufactured Mexican cheese. The company's unlicensed employees were reportedly making the cheese with raw milk in its unsanitary plants, resulting in the fatal bacterial infections. Following a massive recall of the cheese, Jalisco's owner and head cheesemaker were sent to prison, and the company eventually shuttered its doors.
В тюрьме, блядь. Может быть, ему даже дадут попробовать соль, которая будет пизже его хуйни.
Corp peanut butter. The United States was very weary of peanut butter in the late 2000s.
Да, Пипс рассказывал, что Блять, было дохуя продуктов. Было такое продуктов с беконом. Бля, я перепутал.
Begin phase 2.
Yes, Dr. Lagoon.
Что это, блядь, за шоу? Это Артур.
Dr. Lagoon.
Peanut butter. No, stop. Anything but that. Help.
According to the CDC,
Чё?
over 700
Желе,
people had
арахисовое
fallen
масло,
ill
это
and
вкусно.
9 had died after suffering a nasty case of salmonella.
Это шоу уже до сих пор идет, блядь.
Phase 2.
Fallen ill and 9 had died after suffering a
говоря,
nasty
пиздил.
case of salmonella. However, the real number was probably
У них,
higher, as
они ж,
many
блядь,
cases of
дружат.
salmonella go
С пидом.
unreported.
You're not hungry either? Okay. Okay,
A massive investigation was launched, combining the forces of the FDA and the CDC, and the outbreak was traced to Peanut Corp's processing plant. The case was historic for a
Корпорация
number of
Арахис.
reasons.
Food safety lost out to greed.
Not only did it launch the biggest food recall in American history, but it also resulted in the harshest punishment ever given in a food-related court case. Stuart Parnell, the owner of Peanut Corp, was
Как
sentenced to
другие
28
были
years in
конкуренты
prison.
рады этому.
This former CEO is already 61 years old, so they're calling this a
6'7".
virtual life sentence.
Number 12, Takata Airbags. A Japanese auto parts manufacturer, Takata was mired in controversy from the very beginning. Its headquarters in Germany saw multiple deaths, and in 1995...
Чё? Мы японская компания, но штаб-квартира у нас в Германии.
The company was at the center of a major seatbelt recall. But the biggest and most expensive controversy began in 2013. Takata held 20% of the airbag market, but many of them were dangerously defective.
How fast do you reckon you were going?
5 miles an hour, maybe.
That all?
Yeah, I was just trying to go through the stop sign.
Problems with the inflator and the propellant resulted in sharp pieces of shrapnel severely injuring and killing occupants of Takata
Блять,
installed
это
cars.
очевидно будет, но ремень опасности. Нет никакой безопасности.
The defective airbags resulted in...
And I'm puzzled because the vehicle doesn't look
Ну да.
damaged.
The defective airbags resulted in hundreds of injuries and at least 27 deaths, and over 40 million cars were pulled, making this the largest vehicle-related recall in American history.
I called NHTSA. They tell me, do not drive your vehicle.
In American history.
I called NHTSA.
А что еще сказать, блядь?
They tell me, do not drive your vehicle. Your recall notice says your car can kill you or seriously injure you.
Takata subsequently went bankrupt in 2017 as a result of the steep cost of compensation. Number 11, Toyota floor mats. On August 28, 2009, a major news story caught the attention of the nation.
Снова
An
тачки.
off-duty highway patrol officer was stuck in a
Продолжаем
speeding
эту
car
тему.
with his family. As the vehicle was traveling at 100 miles per hour, a passenger called 911 and pleaded for help, stating that the brakes weren't working.
We're going north 145. Our accelerator's stuck.
The car eventually crashed and all 4 occupants died. Later investigations revealed that Toyota cars had been linked to thousands
Если бы машина ехала медленнее, они бы, может быть, и выжили.
of cases of unintended acceleration. The
Они,
problem
очевидно,
eventually
въебались
traced
до высокой
the
скорости,
floor
там
mats in
пиздец не
Toyota and
выживешь.
Lexus vehicles, which were jamming the
Коврика?
gas pedals and causing the vehicles to speed
Нахуй тогда
wildly
такие
out of
коврики,
control.
блядь?
Millions of cars were recalled, and the accountable floor mats were destroyed and redesigned.
Simply put, Toyota's engineers...
Подождите.
Accountable floor mats were destroyed and
Зачем перерабатывать? Уничтожьте, сделайте другие.
Simply put, Toyota's engineers...
Переработали. Создайте с нуля, блядь.
To the job on this one.
Number 10, Ford Pinto.
А, да.
Did you know that
Знаю про
Ford
это.
was tried for reckless homicide? In the late 70s, the motor company was taken to court for the deaths of 3 Indiana teenage girls. The weapon, a Ford Pinto.
We built Ford Pinto to be a rugged, reliable, basic car, just like the one Doc Gibson started out with 60 years ago.
When this stylish car was hit from behind, the gas tank could explode. It wasn't the only subcompact car with this problem, but it also emerged that Ford knew about the issue and didn't fix it. The 3 teens from Indiana were sitting inside the Pinto when it was struck by a van. The subsequent lawsuit was one of 117 related to rear-end accidents in the Pinto.
With his new optional glass hatchback, exciting new front-end styling,
And this new flip-up removable roof option.
Ford won that lawsuit, but lost another famous case, Grimshaw versus Ford Motor Company, which also involved a fatal fuel tank fire. They recalled the automobile in June 1978. Number 9, Infantino's baby slings. Baby wearing was a popular trend in the early 2000s. New mothers and fathers would carry babies on their chest in open sling bags. It was a way to keep the baby closer to the parent while running errands, and Infantino touted it allowed for bonding between parent and infant. However, after 3 infants suffocated, Infantino recalled their Sling Rider and Wendy Bellissimo slings in 2010, announcing a replacement program. The Consumer Product Safety Commission warned parents not to use the slings for babies under 4 months, stating that they could restrict breathing and block airways in certain positions. Number 8, buckyballs. Kids will eat literally anything, as long as it's not vegetables, including completely inedible objects. And it's this fact that led to the demise of the magnetic toy buckyballs.
У меня, помню, сестренка Бусину как-то запихнула себе... Она у меня сестренка маленькая была, я был вместе с ней и уследил, она запихнула себе в нос Бусину.
Which took the US by storm in 2009. Although intended for older children and adults, buckyballs were often swallowed by children. When 2 or more were ingested, the superpowered magnets would connect, causing absolutely horrendous internal tears. In fact, magnet toys caused an estimated 2,900 emergency room visits between 2009 and 2013, including 1 death. This prompted the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission to issue a recall in 2012.
On our packaging, it says keep away from all children in 5 different places. We have a vigorous safety program that, we don't sell to stores that market to children.
In response, Buckyballs inventor Craig Zucker went to war, waging a public relations campaign against the commission. He ultimately lost. Number 7. Effed Up. Remember Four Loko?
I was thinking for the dinner beverage, we have a Four Loko watermelon from 09.
The alcohol caffeine beverage was famously banned by some states after a spate of hospitalizations, prompting Four Loko to remove the caffeine, taurine, and guarana.
Number 1, are they going to limit the amount of alcohol? Because it's 11.9%, which is very high. And number 2 is, can we limit the places that people can get?
Мешать алкоголь с энергетиком. Nice.
Well, Effed Up was basically the Canadian version of the original Four Loko, albeit with way less caffeine. The drink was pulled from convenience store shelves after a teen death in 2018. 14-year-old Atina Jarvet was found dead after a house party, and it emerged that she'd been drinking Effed Up. The media...
А сколько банок? Yes. Ну, ладно, она одна выпила.
Calls the intoxication caused by such concoctions as wide-awake drunk. Due to this feeling, some people don't realize how drunk they are until it's too late. Number 6. Infant sleep positioners. Produced by multiple companies, infant sleep positioners were marketed as a means to prevent flathead syndrome, acid reflux, and sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. However, all of these claims were unproven. Worse, these positioners created a serious suffocation risk. In the 2010s, the FDA flooded the internet and TV with PSAs warning against their use, linking them to at least 12 deaths. Subsequently, many retailers stopped selling them, and regulatory bodies in other countries issued similar warnings. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that babies sleep on their backs on a firm, empty surface.
Follow the ABCs of safe sleep. Alone, on the back, in a bare crib.
Number 5. Firestone and Ford tires.
Даже шины, блядь,
Ford and
пострадали.
Firestone have had a business partnership stretching back to 1906.
Firestone, надеюсь, их шины не загорались.
A wedding in Akron, Ohio unites 2 pioneer automotive families, Ford and Firestone.
But in the early 2000s, they had a very public fight. According to Ford, the Wilderness AT tire by Firestone had treads that could separate from the tire and cause blowouts while driving. According to Firestone, the Ford Explorer was to blame, with a faulty design causing the car to roll. Treads that could...
Ну, я почти угадал взрывы.
Explorer was to
Пиздец.
blame, with a faulty design causing the car to roll.
Most of the deaths and injuries involve Ford Explorers.
Кто это?
Roll.
Most of the deaths and injuries
дата 1 мая.
involve Ford Explorers. Not other vehicles equipped with the same tires.
It began to feel like a divorce, with each blaming the other for hundreds of fatalities in the U.S. alone. The public were the kids caught in the middle.
That tire blew out. And all I can remember is flipping and flipping.
Eventually, though, the tires were recalled and the automobile was redesigned. Number 4, lawn dart.
Это первое место в топе самых опасных игрушек было.
So imagine a game of darts, but you're in your backyard rather than a bar. Sounds fun, right? Now imagine the darts are giant. If you're thinking, well, that sounds a little bit dangerous, you'd be more than a little bit right. The needle end of the dart had to be sharp enough to pierce the ground, which also made it sharp enough to pierce people. In the 1970s and 80s, this caused thousands of visits to hospital emergency rooms and at least 3 deaths, leading to a ban in the United States and Canada. They remain legal, however, in the EU. Number 3, Kinder Surprise.
Я думал, будет ли это здесь, не будет.
Surprise eggs.
It's 3 of the things children wish for most. A surprise, a toy, and a chocolate treat.
Since they're packaged like a Cadbury cream egg, it's understandable that some kids and adults would simply pop these large chocolate eggs into their mouths. However, instead of a creamy center, they'd find a less forgiving plastic container with a toy inside. After several deaths due to choking, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission banned importation of Kinder Surprise.
Sorry, it's my fault. Had Kinder eggs. Didn't know we weren't supposed to bring them.
They remain legal, however, in many other countries, including Canada and Mexico. However, in 2017, a chocolate egg with the toy packaged separately, called Kinder Joy, finally arrived stateside.
Я вообще не помню, когда в последний раз Kinder яйцо ел.
Number 2,
Получал.
crib bumpers. Heavy blankets, pillows,
Продолжаем,
stuffed animals, and plush bumpers might seem like cute and comfortable additions to a baby's crib.
We'd have it just like this in the bed, and we weren't worried because he wasn't rolling over.
Unfortunately, though, crib bumpers were also linked to 77 deaths between 1985 and 2012. This startlingly high number of incidents led to PSAs warning new parents of the dangers. In response, some states, including Maryland, Ohio, and New York, as well as the city of Chicago, have banned crib bumpers. They're still available for purchase in other locations,
New York
but ongoing
City,
efforts aim
boy.
to ban their manufacturing and importation nationwide.
Have a born day. Офигенная песня под шабойс и хуёвые товары. Чё на первом месте?
Is used in making multiple products.
Так.
Milk and baby formula. Melamine is used in making multiple products the world over, including flame retardant paints and plastics. You're probably now asking, why would anyone put that in baby formula? Well, sadly, the answer is that many companies in China, most prominently the Sanlu Group, were using it to fake high protein values in order to pass quality checks.
The baby would cry and cry and cry, and his stomach became more and more bloated day by day, and he was urinating blood.
The problem is that melamine can also cause serious kidney problems. As a result, an
я уж
estimated
понял.
54,000 babies were hospitalized and 6 died. When the scandal was exposed in 2008, it led to a massive recall as well as prison and death sentences. Which of these incidents do you...
Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, жмите колокольчик, чтобы рассказать то видео, пишите комментарии, ставьте телегу. С вами был Alex Назаренко. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем пока.